Good evening. I'm Professor David Weiss, a member of the Behavioral Sciences Department faculty here at Fitchburg State University, and I'm honored to serve as your Master of Ceremonies for tonight's ceremony. Please stand as you are able and remove your hats for the introduction of the Fitchburg Police Department Color Guard, performed by Officer Batalis, Officer Monahan, Officer Provencher, and Officer D'Souza. At this time, I would like to welcome Tasha Naylor to perform the national anthem.
All uniform personnel, present, arm.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Forward, march.
Thank you, Tasha. It's now my privilege to invite Fitchburg State University President Donna Hodge to the podium to offer words of welcome from the campus.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Professor Weiss. Mayor Squalia, Senator Cronin, Representative Krasmierik, members of the Fitchburg City Council, Chief Martineau, Captain Giannini, distinguished members of the Fitchburg Police Department, and all of our friends, family, and community members who are gathered here tonight, welcome to Fitchburg State University. It is an absolute honor to host this special occasion, marking a milestone in the history of the Fitchburg Police Department. Since joining this incredible community just last summer as Fitchburg State's 12th president, my husband, Dustin, and I have witnessed firsthand the deep connections that bind our campus and this city together. There is a true spirit of partnership and shared purpose here in Fitchburg. We are one community committed to progress, resilience, and a brighter future. Tonight's ceremony is a testament to that unity. As we celebrate leadership transitions and well-earned promotions, we also recognize the service and dedication of those who protect and uphold the safety of our city. It is a privilege for Fitchburg State University to host this momentous occasion, honoring those who stand on the front lines to protect all of us in this community every single day. I was deeply honored to serve on the Police Chief Search Committee, working alongside fellow community leaders to ensure the continued strength of the Fitchburg Police Department. We all understood the gravity of selecting a leader who could follow in the footsteps of a dedicated and respected public servant, Chief Ernie Martineau. Yes. not so accidentally, one of the very first citizens of Fitchburg that I happened to meet. Through this process of serving on the search committee, I had the privilege of getting to know Captain, soon to be Chief, Giannini. What became clear is that Fitchburg is incredibly fortunate to have a police department filled with exceptional talent and steadfast commitment. With Chief Giannini at the helm, the future is bright. I am also delighted that tonight we are joined by several of our own students from our criminal justice police concentration, students who aspire to serve their communities with the same dedication, honor, and integrity as the officers we celebrate tonight. Your leadership serves as an example to all of us. On behalf of Fitchburg State University, congratulations to all of the officers being promoted tonight. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to our community. Congratulations.
Thank you, President Hodge. It's now my pleasure to invite Mayor Samantha Squalia to the podium for remarks.
Thank you. Good evening, Fitchburg. Tonight we gather together not just to swear in our newest leaders within the Fitchburg Police Department, but to reaffirm our collective commitment to service, to integrity, and to the belief that we are stronger together as one community. In this time of national and local challenge, economic uncertainty, division in discourse, and doubt in our national institutions, it is critical that we stand firm in what has always made Fitchburg great: our resilience, our unity, and our commitment to justice. Fitchburg is a city that has always welcomed diversity of people, of ideas, of industry, and of culture. That is our greatest strength. That is our foundation, and that will not change. Our police department embodies that same spirit. It does not exist apart from our community. It serves as a partner in ensuring that every resident, every business, and every visitor is safe, heard, and respected. It is a department that holds itself to the highest standards of accountability and professionalism, understanding that public trust is not given, but earned every day in every interaction. Tonight, we proudly appoint Stephen Giannini as our city's 19th Chief of Police. A 33-year resident of Fitchburg and a law enforcement officer for nearly as long, Captain Giannini has helped lead our department with professionalism, integrity, and a dedication to our city. Serving in every command role in our department, he has proven time and again that he is not just capable of leading, but committed to leading with vision and fairness. I have had the privilege of working alongside Captain Giannini for nearly a decade, and I can say with confidence, our city is in good hands. Alongside our new command structure with Chief Giannini, we also will swear in new leadership within our ranks. Captain Jeffrey Howe, Lieutenant Christopher Bellafato, Sergeants Michael Fosher and Daniela Lopez, and yes, and our K-9 officer, Atlas, alongside handler, Officer Mark Caddy. Each of these individuals will step into their new role with the same sense of duty, commitment, and responsibility that define what it means to be from Fitchburg and serve Fitchburg. From the entire city of Fitchburg, we express our gratitude for our 18th Chief of Police, Ernest Martineau, as he prepares for retirement starting in a few hours. Chief Martineau has served our city with commitment, honor, and distinction throughout his 37-year tenure, the last 10 as chief. His commitment to fostering trust and collaboration within our community is held in high regard, and this legacy of service will be appreciated for years to come. Thank you from us all. To the women, men, and canines of our police department, I say this: you are the guardians of public order. The work you do is not easy, nor is it without sacrifice. But you have the power to shape this city for the better, to build relationships, de-escalate tension, and to be the presence that reassures and protects. Wear that badge with pride, knowing that it is not just a symbol of authority, but of service. And to our residents, I say this: public safety is not the job of one department alone. It is a shared responsibility. We must work together. We must trust one another. Our police officers cannot do their jobs effectively without the partnership of the people they serve. Let us reject division and reject distrust, knowing that a safer, stronger Fitchburg is only possible when we all take part in shaping it together. To our Chief Giannini, Captain Howe, Lieutenant Bellafato, Sergeants Fosher and Lopez, Officer Caddy, and our newest canine officer, Atlas, congratulations. You step into these roles at a pivotal time in our city's history. We place in you not just our trust, but our hope for the future. Lead with fairness, lead with courage, and lead with the knowledge that the city stands with you, safer, stronger, and united. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Squalia. It's my pleasure now to welcome State Senator John Cronin, who brings welcome from the Senate.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I want to start by saying thank you to all our uniformed personnel who are here from the Fitchburg Police Department, from surrounding departments, from the Fitchburg State Department. We have never asked so much, and it has never been so difficult to serve as a police officer than it is today. And on behalf of our community, it's worth remembering that at people who live here's most vulnerable moment, when they have a family member in a mental health crisis, or they are a victim of theft or crime or violence or domestic violence, you are their call. And there is nothing more honorable and there is no more noble vocation than being on the other end of that call and responding. And so on behalf of this community, I just want to say thank you to all the men and women who wear the uniform. But we know that in these professions, both as police, as fire, the families serve too. And the families serve the brunt of that sacrifice and feel it. So before we move any further, I'd like to ask the spouses, the children, the loved ones of all our uniformed personnel who are here tonight just to stand up so we can say thank you to you all. Thank you. And for so many reasons, today feels really bittersweet. We're celebrating the remarkable career and selfless service of Chief Martineau, who I think is a role model for so many of us. And we're welcoming in a new generation and change of leadership with Captain Giannini. And so I look forward to serving with you, future Chief, and to Chief Martineau and your family. Your character and your competence is going to be your legacy. And I think the professionalism, the excellence, the competence of the Fitchburg Fire Department that this community knows so well and appreciates so much is a reflection of your leadership. So I just want to say thank you, and that you'll be so missed. And thank you for everything that you've done and dedicated to our city.
Thank you, Senator Cronin. It is my pleasure now to welcome Chief Ernest Martineau of the Fitchburg Police Department. Chief Martineau. Chief Martineau, as we've heard here already, has led the department for 10 years and has served the Fitchburg Police Department for 37 years, even though he could easily pass for 35 years old. Chief Martineau.
So, with 37 years of service, what comes with that? Readers. Thank you, Dr. Weiss. Well, good evening. Welcome, family and friends of the Fitchburg Police Department. This is truly, truly a momentous moment in the history of the Fitchburg Police Department in the city of Fitchburg. I would like to start by expressing my sincere gratitude to our gracious host, Fitchburg State University, President Hodge. You truly have been wonderful partners in everything I've done as a police chief, everything I've done as a member of the Fitchburg Police Department. The bonds between our community and university are stronger than ever, and I say thank you. Mayor Squalia, members of the City Council, Senator Cronin, Representative Kruse-Merrick, President Zarella, the elected leaders of our city, your unwavering support towards the Fitchburg Police Department and law enforcement in general has really transpired what we do each and every day as an organization. Your passion and your support and your commitment to public safety is second to none. You collectively have made my job easier. Whether I was going in front of council for budgets, whether I was going in front of council for cruises, whether I was going in front of the mayor's office looking for promotions, I can say without a doubt, our community has some of the finest elected officials anywhere in this Commonwealth, and you have made my job much easier. And for that, I'm eternally grateful to all of you. This is a tough one. To my brothers and sisters wearing blue tonight. I've been a police officer for 37 years. I came into that building as a 22-year-old. I was so proud to wear this uniform, to put that patch on my side. You have made this possible. You have made the last 37 years something that we could achieve together. And the hardest part about leaving this job is leaving each and one of every of you. One thing that happens when you've been in the organization as long as I've been, a lot of your colleagues have left before you. I can't tell you what it meant when I saw my academy mate, Ron Lecquier, walk in tonight. It just brings back a flood of emotions. Lieutenant Gary Morand, Deputy Chief, Acting Chief Kearns, John Mackey. Those are the memories, those are the relationships that we formed over the years, and those are the things that carry you into retirement. For that, I'm eternally grateful. For the other law enforcement partners here tonight, I see Leominster, I see the State Police, I see many agencies that have come to support the Fitchburg Police Department. Chief, it's great seeing you tonight. Thank you for being here. It's truly a relationship that we have here in Worcester County. Sheriff, the relationship that we have formed, it's truly something special. I saw a district attorney walk in just a little short time ago. Central Mass, there's something special in this area. And we really just, it's such a great place to work. I've had the opportunity to travel throughout the state as a member of different organizations, major city chiefs, and it is something special about coming home. And thank you to my law enforcement partners, Sheriff and District Attorney. It's truly been an honor to work with you. Lastly, before I get into the promotions, I have one final thanks. And I think anybody that wears a uniform and provides public service can appreciate this. We are only as strong as the people we go home to. My wife is sitting in the front row. We've been married for 35 years. My son is right next to her. In fact, thank you, FATV. My daughter, who lives in Italy, is watching this live right now. So thank you, FATV, for providing this to my daughter across the ocean. We protect and we serve, but at the end of the day, what is most important, and I've stressed this in every position I've held at the police department, that at the end of the day, we have to go home to what's truly important to us. And that is whoever is waiting for us, whoever is in your life that matters, whether it's a husband, a wife, a significant other, a father, a mother, a daughter. That's what it's all about. And having that for the last 37 years has made my job tolerable. She has been by my side. Thank you, Kelly. On that cue, before we get into the individual promotions, I'd like to start with the introduction of the newest member of the Fitchburg Police Department, K-9 Atlas, who is letting everybody know that he is here. K-9 Atlas is joined by his handler, Mark Caddy. The Fitchburg Police Department went many, many years without a K-9 unit. I would say over a decade that we didn't have a K-9 officer. When I came on, Jimmy Gilbert was one of our K-9 officers. I saw him bring 2 dogs to the department. Prior to that, one of our dear friends that's no longer with us, Donnie Richards, was a K-9 handler. I know I'm missing some others, but K-9s were part of the fabric of the Fitchburg Police Department. And for one reason or another, that disappeared for close to a decade. I knew when I had the opportunity, once I was promoted to chief, that I could somehow reinstitute that type of program within the department. I'm proud to say that I was able to reinstitute a K-9 program roughly in 2017 at no cost to the taxpayer, mind you. We found ways to fund a K-9 program without a single penny being spent by the taxpayers of the city of Fitchburg. We brought, yeah, thank you. That's important to highlight. We brought in a K-9, his name was Hangos. He was a fabulous dog, absolutely fabulous. His handler, Josh Lambert. Josh and Hangos served this city valiantly for 6 years. They were out there, and they truly, truly made a difference, whether it was tracking someone that may have been lost, going after a suspect, detecting narcotics in a vehicle, or just being that sixth person on the field. That's what a K-9 brings to a department. It's just that extra person, and it really brings a sense of camaraderie amongst the rank and file. And we were so blessed to have Hangos and Josh for all those years. But for many, many reasons, Josh got promoted to sergeant, which was the greatest move in his life. But Hangos was getting in age where it would have been tough to turn him over to another handler. So we made a decision to retire Hangos at the ripe age of 6 years old, but it was time, and it would have been too tough of a transition. I felt so strongly, and I had a meeting with our captains at that time, that we couldn't let this program fade away once again. So we went to the drawing board. Once again, I was tasked with trying to find funds for it. I can say we did round 2 without cost to the taxpayer. We brought in another K-9. The first thing we had to do was identify a handler. We made interviews at the police department. We solicited interest, and without a doubt, after we got done speaking with Officer Caddy, there was no doubt that he had the passion to far exceed our expectation at our next handler. So we had chosen our handler. Now comes the hard part. We got to find a partner for him. And I can't speak enough about our relationship, my relationship with the Massachusetts State Police. They were here tonight. They came in with their bag and pipe team. It has truly been a community relationship, a strong relationship that we've had with them. They went out and they solicited and they found Atlas for us. And once we found the dog, we brought the two of them together. For the next 6-7 months, K-9 Atlas, Officer Caddy, they went through training through the Massachusetts State Police. And from what I was told, Atlas exceeded every expectation. He was at the top of his class. It was told to me that some of the troopers were jealous that he was going to Fitchburg and not the state police. I say that's partly because Mark Caddy was an integral part in Atlas's training. So the one thing I can say that I am so proud of is that we didn't give up on this K-9 program. I believed in it, the department believed in it, and I think it's positive for the community. It's a sense of pride when we go to an event, or if he's patrolling the street. When we brought Hangos on 7 years ago, we held a ceremony in front of City Council. Mayor Squalia thought it was a great idea to do it this evening. I couldn't agree with you more. In fact, we have trading cards now for K-9 Atlas. That being said, he gets a little rambunctious, so we are going to take him first this evening, and we're going to be calling K-9 Atlas and his handler up as we administer the oath of office.
Do you, Atlas, swear that you will faithfully and impartially, without fear, favor, or affection discharge my duties as a police K-9 officer for the city of Fitchburg? You will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the Commonwealth, and the Charter and ordinances of the city of Fitchburg. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic, you will bear true faith, loyalty, allegiance to the same. I further ask you to affirm that you will protect and serve the citizens of Fitchburg, assist your handler, Officer Mark Caddy, in enforcing the law, to search for lost children, to find illegal drugs, to track suspects, and to be a goodwill ambassador for the City of Fitchburg Police Department. I know you understand that the badge you wear is a symbol of public faith, trust, charge to perform your duties impartially, without favor or ill will, and without regard to race, religion, political benefits, aspirations, so help you God. Thank you.
I was going to ask for a speech, but I can see that they're already leaving. Another round of applause for the newest member of our police department. In a short time, Professor Weiss is going to be calling up each officer to take the oath of office for their next respective ranks. They will be joined on stage and pinned by their family and friends of their choice. Our clerk, just as you saw, will administer the oath of office for their respective ranks, and their new journey will begin in their respective positions. One of my greatest honors as chief has been to make recommendations to the mayor for promotions within the department. These promotions are granted by the mayor's office. We've been very blessed to have a city council that has allowed us in their chambers to enjoy and celebrate their achievements. Thank you, President Zarella, for always opening up your chambers. We've had such a relationship where we've been able to celebrate with our families. And tonight, not only are we celebrating the swearing in of Chief Giannini, but we're also celebrating the hard work and the achievement of the 4 other officers that are seated up here with us. For those of you who have worked in law enforcement or in law enforcement, I don't need to tell you what goes into preparing for promotional exams. You spend the better part of a year deep into books, listening to tapes, everything you can get your hand on, you are putting into that promotional test. Everything. It consumes you. But more importantly, it consumes their families. You know, they come home, they work a shift, they work a detail, and then they're jumping into the book. So this night is as much about their families as it is about their accomplishments. And what a better way, on what a bigger stage to celebrate those experiences than here at Fitchburg State in front of our family and friends. I was so ecstatic when I spoke to the mayor and we were going to combine this evening, because this is truly a community event. And the work that these 4 have put in is well-deserving, and they will have the opportunity to be individually recognized for their achievements. Before we get into the individual swearing in, what I would typically do historically at a city council meeting is I would get up and I would introduce the candidates. I would introduce the person being promoted to the city council. It was always televised on FATV. It was a way for me to just give a little bit of history about the person that we're promoting. Promotions within law enforcement, any public service agency, are so important because there's growth and there's excitement that comes with promotions. And tonight is no different. We got some exceptional people being promoted. And as I sit here and I really take this all in, the future of this department is solid. It is solid with this type of leadership. Tonight we're promoting 2 police officers to the rank of police sergeant. In my opinion, my humble opinion, one of the most important positions in any law enforcement organization. The sergeant has the ears and he's listening to what's happening in the field. They're the ones that are forming and molding that police officer, that 22-year-old. It is such an important role. And I couldn't be happier for the 2 people that I recommended for promotion this evening. Officer Daniela Lopez. Daniela joined the police department in 2018. Officer Lopez is one of the 40-plus officers that I have had the opportunity to welcome to the Fitchburg Police Department. It was early in the stages of her career that she was starting to get recognized. We knew we had something special in this police officer. We were reading her reports, we were seeing her activity, but more importantly, we were watching her interact with her colleagues. She was destined to be a leader. And I couldn't think of a better person to put stripes on than Daniela Lopez. And just on a side note, she comes from a family of community service. Her brother, her sister-in-law, who's seated in front of us, it's a family that constantly gives back. And we are going to see some great things out of that sergeant right there. Next, Officer Michael Fosha. Michael joined the police department in 2004. Mike has worked on many, many different assignments. He's been in the patrol division for the majority of his career. He's worked different shifts. Here's a footnote that I can say about Officer Fosha. Another favorite thing of mine is commending hard work. I can say without reservation, I have issued more commendations to Officer Fosha for exceptional police work than anybody else that I've commended in my 10 years as chief. This guy is a workhorse, absolute workhorse. You know, we hear the term frequently in public safety about the leaders behind the scene, the leaders without stripes, the leaders without rank. That's exactly what Mike Fosha was. I could walk into the roll call room and the young officers were flocking around him, trying to absorb the information that he could provide to them. While we would love to keep him in that position, but that's exactly what you want in a street supervisor. One that has the trust of his employees and the respect of his employees. Just like Sergeant Lopez, I have no doubt, and I can't wait to see how Mike flourishes as a police sergeant. Moving up a little bit. Next we have Sergeant Christopher Bellafato. Sergeant Bellafato joined the Fitchburg Police Department in 2012. He was promoted to the rank of police sergeant in 2018 by my recommendation. Sergeant Bellafato has worked in different aspects of the patrol division, but more importantly, his most recent assignment is something that I held for almost a decade. Sergeant Bellafato has been working with our police detectives, investigating and managing and controlling some of the most critical incidences that happen in the city of Fitchburg. It's one thing to manage and supervise young officers, but let me tell you, trying to supervise seasoned police detectives who sometimes are stuck in their own way, they're exceptional employees, is a challenge in itself. It's probably the best challenge I ever had. And I have watched Sergeant Bellafato these last couple of years manage that detective bureau. And to say the least, he has exceeded every expectation. And I look at what he's done, and I couldn't think of a better person that I would want to promote up the ranks to police lieutenant. I understand we just went through our yearly assignments, and the lieutenant is going back to the patrol division. That's exactly who we want, commanding a shift of young officers, and in most cases, 2 new sergeants. I have high expectations, and once again, I look forward to watching Lieutenant Bellafato grow, and I have no doubt he has bigger and better things coming in this agency, but we are proud to promote him to the rank of lieutenant. The last one I want to speak about is very near and dear to me, Lieutenant Jeffrey Howe. Jeff joined the police department in 1984. I knew Jeff way before that. Our families go back to childhood. I grew up with his brother, both his parents I was very close to. I went to college with his brother. The Howe family has been very near and dear to me. Lieutenant Howe was promoted to sergeant in 2014, and then As one of my first promotions in 2015, I promoted him to lieutenant. Jeff has played many, many pivotal roles within the police agency, but I can say without reservation and without doubt, his greatest role that he has played has been in the last 3 to 5 years as my community engagement supervisor. During the transition in the last 10 years, what we faced in law enforcement, what was happening nationally, it was never more clear that we needed positive engagement within our community. We needed to have that trust. We needed to have that relationship. We needed someone that could foster that. And that was a mission of mine. I couldn't do that alone. So I knew when I tapped Lieutenant Howe for this role, I could just sit back and watch great things happen. We have become a trusted partner in the city of Fitchburg, a partnership that people rely on. The transparency that comes out of the Fitchburg Police Department is because of our engagement. And when one person says community engagement, I say Jeff Howe. That being said, when the promotion of Chief Dinini came up and we looked at who the next captain was going to be, I did not have to look any further than my community engagement office. I know we have some big shoes to fill in that unit, but I know under his leadership as a senior command captain, nothing will sway away from the mission of the Fitchburg Police Department and to keep that community engagement and that trust alive in the city of Fitchburg so the city can grow and be productive. This was truly an honor to recommend his name to be a police captain, and I am so happy for him and his family that is seated here tonight. At this point, I'm going to take a short break from speaking. I'm going to turn this back over to Dr. Weiss. At that time, between Dr. Weiss and our clerk, we will be calling up our members that are being promoted this evening, and they will take their oath of office. Dr. Weiss.
Thank you, Chief Martineau. We will now continue our ceremony with the formal swearing-in of our promoted officers. The oaths will be administered by City Clerk Joanna Bellata. I would now like to ask Officer Daniela Lopez to stand and step forward, to be joined by Clerk Bellata, who will administer the swearing-in. Officer Daniela Lopez is being promoted to the rank of Sergeant within the Fitchburg Police Department.
If you could please place your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Daniela Lopez,
Do solemnly promise and swear
do solemnly promise and swear
that I will faithfully and impartially,
that I will faithfully and impartially,
and to the best of my knowledge and ability,
and to the best of my knowledge and ability,
perform and discharge
perform and discharge
all duties incumbent upon me
all duties incumbent upon me
as a police sergeant
as a police sergeant
for the city of Fitchburg.
for the city of Fitchburg.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
We now invite Sergeant Michael Lopez of the Fitchburg Police Department, badge pinner for Sergeant Daniela Lopez, to the stage. I would now like to ask Officer Michael Fosher to stand and step forward to be joined by Clerk Bellata, who will administer the swearing in. Officer Michael Fosher is being promoted to the rank of sergeant within the Fitchburg Police Department.
Thank you very much.
Okay, if you could raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Michael Fosher,
Do solemnly promise and swear
do solemnly promise and swear
that I will faithfully and impartially,
that I will faithfully and impartially,
and to the best of my knowledge and ability,
and to the best of my knowledge and ability,
perform and discharge
perform and discharge
all duties incumbent upon me,
all, duties
duties
incumbent upon me
as a police sergeant
as a police sergeant
for the city of Fitchburg.
for the city of Fitchburg.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
We now invite Melanie Fosher, badge pinner for Sergeant Michael Fosher, to the stage. I would now like to ask Detective Sergeant Christopher Bellafato to stand and step forward to be joined by Clerk Bellata, who will administer the swearing in. Christopher Bellafato is being promoted to the rank of lieutenant within the Fitchburg Police Department.
If you could raise your right hand and repeat after me. I
I,
state your name.
Christopher Bellafato,
Do solemnly promise and swear
do solemnly promise and swear
that I will faithfully and impartially,
that I will faithfully and impartially,
and to the best of my knowledge and ability,
and to the best of my knowledge and ability,
perform and discharge all duties
perform and discharge all duties
incumbent upon me
incumbent upon me
as a lieutenant
as a lieutenant
for the Fitchburg Police Department.
for the Fitchburg Police
So
Department.
help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
We now invite Officer Sarah Bellafato of the Ashburnham Police Department, badge pinner for Lieutenant Christopher Bellafato, to the stage. I would now like to ask Jeffrey Howe to stand and step forward to be joined by Clerk Bellata, who will administer the swearing in. Jeffrey Howe is being promoted to the rank of captain within the Fitchburg Police Department.
If you could please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jeffrey Howe,
Do solemnly promise and swear
do solemnly promise and swear
that I will faithfully and impartially,
that I will faithfully and impartially,
and to the best of my knowledge and ability,
and to the best of my knowledge and ability,
perform and discharge all duties
perform and discharge all duties
incumbent upon me
incumbent upon me
as a captain
as a captain
for the Fitchburg Police Department.
for the Fitchburg Police
So
Department.
help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you, dear.
We now invite Lauren Howe, badge pinner for Captain Jeffrey Howe, to the stage. Before we proceed to the swearing in of our 19th Chief of Police, I would like to welcome State Representative Michael Kushmerek to the podium.
Good evening, everybody. I am so delighted to be here, and I first want to start by thanking all of our past and present members of the Fitchburg Police Department and law enforcement officers who are here this evening, and to all of those who support them in their profession each and every day. I'm delighted to see so many past and present city leaders here, and I'll also call out one in particular because he served a direct role in the initial appointment of Chief Martineau, and that is my predecessor in the state legislature, as well as my predecessor on the city council, Representative and past city council president Stephen Hay. Thank you for being here this evening. And I reflect back to that time, Chief, and I think about how significant today is when I reflect back on that moment. Fitchburg had previously broken its tradition and looked to the outside for its leadership. And Chief Martineau, I remember you sitting before the council, and among your stated goals, you had said, my goal is to make sure that never again do we look to the outside for leadership that we should find on the inside. And you've taken that past decade and you have lifted up this department. You've restored respect and dignity to your department, and here we are today with an incredible cast of leaders that will lead Fitchburg and the Fitchburg Police Department through the decades and generations to come. Thank you for your service. We owe you a great day. You've taught me a lot over the years, and so I hope you don't delete my cell phone number as soon as you're done in about 2 hours. I'll be calling. And now to our next guest of honor. Captain, new chief. If I say new chief, I have to call you old chief, and I value my life too much for that, so. Steve, if I may. You have talked so much about lifting up your profession and investing in the human capital and the human resources of your profession and of this department, about ensuring that the incredible men and women of the Fitchburg Police Department who wear invisible superhero capes each and every day in our community, to ensure that when they go home at night or in the morning after a long shift, that they have the resources and the support necessary to be successful, not just day to day, but throughout the course of their careers. You've spoken passionately about lifting up your profession, lifting up those officers and the men and women, and talking about things like mental health in the police profession. And it's just so critically important among a whole slew of other things you speak very passionately about in this profession, that you talk about the issues that nobody else wants to talk to, because as chief, that's the unfortunate job. And all too often, as our men and women go to work each and every day, you deal with everybody's worst day. Unfortunately, when Fitchburg PD often arrives at a scene, it is somebody or many people's worst day of their life. And despite that, in every conversation I've had with you throughout my career in this city, you end on a note of positivity and optimism. Something positive that you see in the department and something positive you see in our city. And I know that nothing will better prepare you for this role, to inspire the next generation of officers, to continue to motivate our current officers, who I believe are the best and brightest that our Commonwealth has to offer. And so, Chief, I know the future of Fitchburg is bright with you at the helm of the Fitchburg Police Department, and I want to thank you for your service. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Representative Kushmerek. I would like to welcome Chief Martineau back to the podium to introduce our final promotion of the night.
Well, that moment has come. We've celebrated some extremely well-deserved promotions. We've highlighted the future of the Fitchburg Police Department. And now we bring it all together with our next leader. My journey as your police chief began on this campus 10 years ago, almost to the day. When I announced my resignation, when I announced my retirement to Mayor Squalia, it was important that I concluded 10 years, and we are like one day apart. And this is where my journey began. At that time, I had no idea what the next decade would hold for me, both personally and professionally. We would face police reform, civil unrest, a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic. The challenges were abundant. I was in the right place at the right time when I was promoted chief. As I said, I was in charge of the Detective Bureau. I thought I did a pretty good job at managing detectives and solving crimes. And I knew that the police department needed to get back to where our roots began, and that was to have someone from Fitchburg lead that department. As I came into office 10 years ago, I came in naive, and I knew for me to be successful, the first thing I had to do was put together a team that we could do this together. There was no way that sergeant from the Detective Bureau was going to accomplish great things for this city by himself. No leader can do it by themselves. And I didn't have to look very far. At that time, I had Deputy Chief Bozikas on my command staff, but Deputy Bozikas was a year out from retirement. And I knew for me to be successful, I had to start putting together a team of like-minded thinkers, compassionate people that would form this police department in the vision that we thought was going to be best for the community. In 2015, we were down a captain, and I requested from Mayor Wong at that time, I said, Mayor, I need an additional captain. And she granted that promotion. I put out some feelers in the department, and I was excited to see that Lieutenant Giannini had an interest in joining my team. I brought Lieutenant Giannini in 2015, and I can tell you, it was the best move that I have made in my 10 years at the helm. For the last 9 years, having Steve by my side has been that voice of reason. When I'm going off the reservation, that voice brings me back in. And it happens. It happens. In fact, Steve will go off the reservation, and one of his captains will reel him in because he's putting together that team. But I was so blessed from the very beginning, and we started putting our team together. And Steve was that cornerstone of my foundation. And we built upon that. A year later, I brought in Captain LeMay. And I finally had that team between Captain LeMay and then we brought in Captain Hess. I think I see Captain Hess here this evening, another member of my team. The three of us, there was nothing that we couldn't face together or solve together. We would have closed-door meetings in my office, and I had one rule. We were not going to yes each other. Everybody's voice counted in that office. I looked forward to Steve's opinion. I looked forward to Harry's opinion. I looked forward to Matt's opinion, because we were going to do this collectively as a team, what was in the best interest of the city of Fitchburg and the Fitchburg Police Department. My God, we were going through a worldwide pandemic. We were taking temperatures coming into the building. Yet, as an organization and a solid team, we got through it. And we got through it together. not only are those the aspects that I admire about Steve, but I can tell you one thing. He is truly has the humanistic side to be successful at this job. I never seen a person more endearing about his family, his wife, his children, the recent marriage of his daughter. I mean, we talk about it all the time at work. There's no doubt how he feels about you, Amy, and the children, and his new son-in-law. It's wonderful to see. When a leader has that type of compassion about his family, it extends to the bigger family. It extends to the men and women in blue. And if you combine that, nothing's impossible. One of the first things I instituted as a new chief, because as the representative stated, I think at a city council, one of my first priorities was to make sure when my time came that I was going to retire, that whomever the mayor was going to be did not have to look beyond the four walls of Fitchburg PD. And for me to do that, I had to provide the leadership and the development of my captains that when that day came, there was no doubt that the next chief is going to come from within our ranks. And that's what we're seeing tonight. That is exactly what we're seeing tonight. During the last 9 years, Captain Giannini has worked every aspect within that agency. From the worst being the patrol commander, where your phone's ringing all night long, and then guess what? He's calling me and waking me up at night, to some of the less glamorous things, such as ordering cars or doing this. But everything plays an important role in the function of a law enforcement agency. Captain Giannini oversaw our Internal Affairs Division, police integrity, police reform, community engagement, the Shannon Grant. The list goes on and on and on. Part of me is jealous. He's coming into this office so prepared to take on this role. There's not a person in this room that will be let down. This city is in such great hands with this leadership coming in. And I'll tell you, I couldn't be prouder of where we're going. This chapter of my professional life is coming to a close. Chief Giannini, his chapter is only beginning. And as in every good book, each chapter builds upon itself. The future of the Fitchburg Police Department is bright. Under the leadership of Chief Giannini, I am positive great things will happen. Great things will happen, and I can't wait to watch it unfold right in front of us. I couldn't be happier to present to the mayor, to present to you, the 19th police chief of the city of Fitchburg, my friend, and our new chief, Steve Giannini. Thank you. Now, I would like to ask Steve to stand up, step in front of the mic, and to be joined by Clerk Bellotta, who will administer the swearing in of you, Stephen Giannini, to the rank of Chief of Police for the Fitchburg Police Department.
Hello, my friend. If you could please raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Stephen Giannini,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to
that I will be of true faith and allegiance to,
and will uphold and defend
and will uphold and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts,
and that I will fairly and justly
and I will fairly and justly
execute and enforce
execute and enforce
the laws thereof,
the laws thereof,
within the extent of my authority and jurisdiction.
within the extent of my authority and jurisdiction.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Keep going. I state your name.
I, Stephen Giannini,
Swear that I will faithfully and impartially
swear that I will faithfully and impartially
perform all the necessary duties
perform all the necessary duties
appointed to me
appointed to me
as Chief of Police
as Chief of Police
of the Fitchburg Police Department.
of the Fitchburg Police Department.
I will obey and be bound by
I will obey and be bound by
such rules and regulations
such rules and regulations
as now are
as now are
or may be
or may be
from time to time
from time to time
established for this government
established for this government
of the Fitchburg Police Department.
of the Fitchburg Police Department.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I state your name.
I, Stephen Giannini,
Hereby accept
hereby accept
the position of
the position of
Chief of Police
Chief of Police
for the City of Fitchburg.
for the City of
So
Fitchburg.
help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, my friend.
Now it is my distinct honor to invite to the stage Amy Giannini, who will be pinning the badge of office upon Stephen Giannini as Chief of Police. And this is the moment we've all been waiting for. It's my honor to call to the podium Chief Steve Giannini of the Fitchburg Police Department.
There's some tough acts to follow up here tonight, some very polished speakers, which I don't necessarily consider myself one, but I'm very happy to be here. Good evening, everyone. Thank you to Mayor Squalia, and thank you to the entire City Council for this amazing opportunity. I've always appreciated your collaboration through the years, as well as the support that the Fitchburg Police Department has received from all of you. I'm honored that you have placed your trust in me to lead this fine department. I'm very excited to extend my congratulations to Captain Howe, to Lieutenant Bellafato, and to Sergeants Fosher and Lopez. I'm looking forward to working alongside each and every one of you, and I'm sure you're going to excel in your new roles. Seeing so many friends and family here is incredibly heartwarming. It's very humbling, to be quite honest. I'm deeply grateful for all of your support. It's truly an honor to stand here tonight as Chief of Police for the City of Fitchburg, an organization that I just love and hold very dearly. Special thanks to my wife, Amy, my daughter, Sophia, my daughter, Emma, who along with her husband, Michael, got on a plane this morning and flew over 2,000 miles to be here with me tonight. It means the world to me to have my family by my side celebrating this moment. You guys are my inspiration and my foundation, and none of this would be possible without you. I'd like to thank my parents, Daniel and Janice, who I'm thrilled to have here with me tonight. Thank you for your unwavering love and support. I would be remiss if I did not mention my Uncle Jim tonight. He was always my biggest supporter when it came to the Chief of Police job. Every time I saw him over the past 5 to 10 years, first thing he would say to me is, "When are you going to become the chief?" I think he was more excited about the possibility than I was at one time. It's bittersweet that he passed away just a few months ago and couldn't be here when I received the good news, but I do know he's here with me tonight, and I wanted to remember him. I'd also like to express my sincere gratitude to the many public service partners here tonight. So many police officers from other communities, so many Fitchburg firefighters, elected officials. I can't thank you all enough for being here. I'm filled with pride as I stand here before my team, the Fitchburg Police Department. You will not find a more dedicated and hardworking group of police officers anywhere. To all of you, my pledge is simple. I am going to work tirelessly to ensure that you receive the best training, that you have the proper equipment to do your job so you're able to go home safely to your families every night. You are my second family, my blue family, and I know how difficult this job can be. Your physical and your mental well-being are amongst my highest priorities, and I want you to know that we're in this together. I'm honored to lead such an exceptional team of both sworn police officers and civilian employees, many of which are here tonight. Thank you for all your commitment to the community, to the department, and thank you for being here to celebrate this with me tonight. As I look around, I'm reminded how fortunate I am to continue serving a community that I have called home for well over 3 decades. This city has helped shape me as a person and as a professional. I'm excited for the opportunity to keep working alongside of all of you, to keep Fitchburg safe and to keep Fitchburg strong. As a leader, I believe in the power of trust and the power of collaboration. These principles are at the core of my approach to law enforcement. Our department's relationship with the community is one of the most important elements of our success. I'm committed to continuing to lead and strengthen the bond and ensure that we continue to foster an environment of mutual respect between the Fitchburg Police Department and the people that we serve. Throughout my years of service, I've always believed in leading by example. My work ethic, my dedication to this department, and my desire to continually improve has been constant throughout my career. As your chief, I will continue to lead with integrity, attempt to inspire my fellow officers, and work relentlessly to make sure the Fitchburg Police Department remains amongst the best and the most respected police departments in the state. I look forward to building upon the strong foundation of trust, accountability, and public safety that this department has established under Chief Martineau's leadership. Your vision and your commitment has ensured that the Fitchburg Police Department is in position to move forward and provide the citizens of Fitchburg the support that they deserve. Thank you, Chief. And thank you for everyone for being here and joining me tonight. I look forward to working alongside all of you for many years to come. It truly warms my heart to see you all here. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Giannini. This time, I'd like to invite University Police Chief Michael Cloutier and President Hodge to come forward for a special presentation.
Thank you, Professor Weiss. Thank you, honored guests, for the opportunity to be at tonight's ceremony. First, President Hodge and I would like to congratulate Chief Giannini and the other members of the Fitchburg Police Department and their families on their promotions this evening. Chief Martineau, would you join us, please? We are deeply grateful for your public service and unwavering commitment to making the city of Fitchburg a better place. Your leadership has not only helped to improve the safety of our campus, but also the city at large. This is due, in part, by your ability to foster relationships with community partners. Throughout our many collaborations, your pride in the city and the police department has always been notable. In recognition of your dedicated service to the city of Fitchburg and your valued support of Fitchburg State University, please accept this gift as a token of our sincere appreciation.
I don't want to drop it. Am I supposed to say? Don't. You probably listened to me talk enough tonight. A good friend of mine, Junior Jackson, sent me a text and said, "Oh, those poor people, you're going to have a mic in your hand, they're not going to get home." And it's funny, Chief Genie made a comment that he's getting into public speaking. Wait 10 years from now, you're not going to be able to keep him quiet either. It happens. It happens. I enjoy talking now, so I'm going to keep it brief. President Hodge, Chief Cloutier, you've been true partners. There's nothing we haven't accomplished together, and I will always cherish our relationships with the university and everything we have done together for the city of Fitchburg. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Martineau, Chief Cloutier, President Hodge. I would like to now welcome the Honorable Mayor of Fitchburg, Samantha M. Squalia, to the podium for another special presentation. And the Chief as well.
Yeah, with Chief Giannini. And, you know, Chief Martineau, you might as well just come and stay up here because you got a couple coming. All right. So we've got to start, we got a couple here. To start, we have, I believe this was started by Councillor Cragen. We've got just a ton of well wishes from all around City Hall and councillors and everything. So you're going to be able to save these for your collection and read them later.
Thank you.
All right, there's that. You've got a one-of-a-kind citation from the mayor's office congratulating Ernest F. Martineau in recognition of your retirement as City of Fitchburg's 18th Chief of Police with 37 years of dedicated service to the City of Fitchburg, and we all express our good wishes for this occasion. And finally, Chief Giannini and I were talking about what should we get as a gift. And this one doesn't go with the university gift. They don't go together, all right? But I know that, you know, one of the first times I met Chief Martineau was when he was, were you coming into the office and we were talking about building things, right? Back in the old days when I was a wee young lad designing buildings. All right, so I know that Chief Martineau wants to go back to the old ways of building buildings, right? Yep. And using a hammer. So we have a one-of-a-kind engraved hammer with the City of Fitchburg police symbol for Chief Ernest Martineau in service to the Fitchburg Police Department, November 1987 to January 2025. And I'd like our Chief Giannini to read the back.
Retired, but still nailing it. In gratitude, Mayor Sam Squalia and Chief Steve Giannini. Congratulations. Oddly enough, 10 years ago, Chief Martineau gave a wrench to the outgoing chief, and now he's getting a hammer, so I can't wait to see what tool I get in a few years.
I am so glad you brought that up, Phil. The wrench, now a hammer. Oh my God. I think we're setting a trend. And the mayor's correct. In my other life, one of my greatest passions is building things. And I've been a home builder, and I'm going back into that. And here's a tool that I can put in my tool chest. But I think the most important tool that I take with me is the friendships that I made over the years. you know, that's the greatest tool of all, the friendships and the relationships that we made. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Chiefs. I'd like to invite Senator Cronin to return to the podium for a presentation of a citation to Chief Ernest Martineau.
Chief, we've got some more hardware for you. First, I just want to invite up to the podium as the state recognize you, Sheriff Lou Evangelitis and DA Joe Early. Would you two gentlemen please join us to honor the chief? Thank you.
So, Chief, we're not going to belabor this because you need another 37 years to hang all the memorabilia we just gave you on this stage. And you're going to get two citations from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts from both chambers of the legislature. I happen to think, and I think the sheriff would agree with me, one chamber might be better than the other, but, you know, so I expect to see one risen a little bit higher than the other on your home. But we have from the House of Representatives and the State Senate, signed by both the Speaker of the House and by the Senate President, and offered by Senator Cronin and I, citations thanking you for your years of service leading this city and serving this city.
Thank you. So I promise, this is the last time I'm going to talk. I promise. As we can see, democracy is well and alive in the state of Massachusetts with Senator Cronin and Representative Kuchmarek. You know, you've been true phenomenal partners. Mike, we go back to when you were council president, and I'm so glad you recognized President Hay, who's here this evening. The relationship I have had with our elected officials has truly made my job easier. One of my predecessors gave me a piece of advice and said, you go to every city council meeting, whether you have something on the agenda or not, and you let those councilors know that you're there. And I adhere to that, and I think I went to more council meetings for whatever reason, and it served me well. Senator Cronin, you've been a staunch ally for law enforcement across the Commonwealth, and thank you for your trust in me and for the kind words that you gave me this evening. To my other two law enforcement partners, words can't express how I feel about the sheriff and the district attorney. The sheriff and I, we've had a relationship for well over a decade where we've worked together to ensure that our community is safe. We have looked out for those that have no one else to look out for them. It was our mission that we would not let anyone down, that we would find a bed, that we would find some type of treatment, that we would find some way to break that cycle. And our partnership has really starting to grow fruit now, and we're seeing it in the city of Fitchburg, and that's because of the sheriff and the programs he's put forth. And to have those relationships only fosters a better community, and I am eternally grateful for the relationship that you and I have had over the last decade. DA, our relationship goes back even further. As I was in charge of the Detective Bureau, investigating crimes for almost a decade prior to being chief, I've had the pleasure of working with the DA and his team. There is not a harder worker for law enforcement in the Commonwealth than who we have here in Worcester County. Joe Early, I think he works 28 hours a day. He is out there at every event. He is at every type of function. And he truly believes, number one, in the rule of law, but number two, making sure that his law enforcement personnel are out there and they have the tools to do the job and that they're going to be successful and go home. We're very fortunate in the city of Fitchburg and in Worcester County to have both of these gentlemen as public safety partners. And I have no doubt that relationship will continue under Chief Genie's relationship. And gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for our friendship. That's it.
Honored guests, this concludes our formal ceremony. I'd like to invite all uniformed Fitchburg police personnel to the stage for a group photo, followed by a group photo of all uniformed police officers in attendance. On behalf of Fitchburg State University and a grateful community, we congratulate all honorees and invite you to join us in the lobby for refreshments and fellowship. Have a good evening.